Howdy, friend. Sam Houston here, hoping you're living in high cotton. And if you're lucky enough to be in Texas, I know you're most of the way there. Now enjoy your daily dose of Texas history and Texas pride.
Howdy, friend. Welcome back to the Feed Bandit podcast and your Texas History Roundup for February 24th. In 1817, Samuel H. Walker, a prominent Texas Ranger who would be identified with the design of the Walker Colt revolver, was born in Maryland. Walker was killed near Mexico City during the last days of the Mexican War in 1847. In 1821, General Agustin de Iturbide issued the Plan de Iguala for the creation of a Mexican empire. He became Emperor of Mexico in May 1822, but reigned for less than a year. When he attempted to return to Mexico in 1824, he was detained, condemned, and executed. In 1836, Colonel William B. Travis took full command of the Alamo, as Colonel James Bowie had fallen ill, probably with typhoid. Until then, Travis commanded the regulars and Bowie the volunteers. As full commander, Travis wrote his famous letter, quote, "To the people of Texas and all Americans in the world, I'm besieged by 1,000 or more Mexicans under Santa Anna. We have sustained continual bombardment and cannonade for 24 hours. Victory or death, I call on you in the name of liberty, patriotism, and everything dear to the American character to come to our aid with all dispatch." This plea reached the delegates meeting in Washington on the Brazos about 2 days later. In 1885, Chester W. Nimitz was born in Fredericksburg. In December 1941, he became Commander-in-Chief of the Pacific Fleet, and as such, he signed the peace treaty with Japan aboard the battleship USS Missouri in Tokyo Bay on September 2, 1945. Following the war, he became Commander-in-Chief of the entire U.S. fleet. Nimitz died in 1966 and is buried in Golden Gate Cemetery, San Bruno, California. The Fleet Admiral Chester W. Nimitz Memorial Navy Museum in Fredericksburg is named in his honor. And I will say, on the battleship Missouri, where Japan officially surrendered or signed the surrender documents, my grandfather, James the First, or James Sr., was actually on that boat and witnessed the signing. It's pretty cool. He was a adjutant in the Army to the highest ranking general at the time, who actually died in World War II, Bolivar Bunker. And but he happened to be he was a captain at the end of the war, and because he was an adjutant to a general, he was on the ship, witnessed the surrender. In 1903, Warren Woodson was born in Fort Worth. Woodson coached college football for 40 years in Texas, Arkansas, Louisiana, and New Mexico, becoming one of the most successful coaches in history. By the end of his career, he was tied for 5th place in wins behind such greats as Amos Alonzo Stagg and Paul Bear Bryant. He was named National Coach of the Year in 1960 and is a member of the Texas Sports Hall of Fame. Woodson died in Dallas in 1998. And going back to Nimitz, in 1967, Fleet Admiral Chester W. Nimitz Memorial Navy Museum opened in Fredericksburg on the 82nd anniversary of Nimitz's birth. All right, that, my friend, was your Texas History Roundup for February 24th. Thank you so much for listening, and we will catch you back here tomorrow on the next one. All right, you take care.
Well, there you have it. If you like our podcast, check us out at feedbandit.com. There you'll find awesome Texas First outdoors gear and apparel. Your purchase helps support the Bandits and keeps this podcast on the air, fighting for you and for Texas. Remember, preserve the tradition, protect the legacy. Until next time.